Howdy and welcome back. I'm Oliver the Shoe Man, and today's going to be a little bit of a different video. A few months back, I saw a video posted by Rose Anvil where he did a collaboration with Thursday Boot Company. And what they did was they took their Thursday Captain boot, which is one of their most popular boots, and they enhanced it. A few things in that video intrigued me, so I wanted to get myself a pair to see it in person, to wear it, to feel it, and see if it's actually worth the hype. Overall, I absolutely love these boots. They look great. They feel great. I've worn them. I put them on and walked around a little bit, not very long. I just got them in today. That being said, I do have a few issues with the boot, which we'll get to a little bit later. And it's not really issues, it's more just concerns. This is a pair of Thursday's Black Matte Captain boots. We did a collaboration with them for Halloween a year ago, I believe, where we did the orange soles, orange heels, orange stitching, black stitching on the bottom. And the cool thing, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's hard to tell with the black, but we did an engraving on the toe cap of a spider web. So if you guys, little shout out, want any leather engraving done to your boots, we could do that for you. We have a laser engraver, so you could put initials, we could do cool designs like this, pretty much anything you want. The difference between the two, there's a few differences. The main one is the shape. Do you see this one is a little bit more wider and bulbousy. This one's a little bit more sleeker, narrower. This one's more going to be for dress and casual wear. This one's just rugged, resilient, more room in the toes, so it's not going to be your typical dress boot. The second difference is the welt. The Thursday Captain comes with a 360 Goodyear welt, which means that stitch goes all the way around the boots. The welt is the piece of leather that gets stitched to the shoes, and then the soles get stitched to the welt. So this is a 360, means it goes all the way around the heel, all the way around the toe. The Heritage Captain is a 270-degree welt, which means the welt starts right here, goes all the way around, and comes to here. There is no stitching along the back. And what that does is allows for a more narrower heel base. If you look at this one versus this one, the heel base is sanded a lot closer to the edge, where this one is a little bit of a wider base because you have that stitch. You can't sand so close to the shoe itself. One thing that really intrigued me too was the toe counters. These have leather toe counters, leather heel counters. And what counters do is give the boots that shape and the structure in the toe. The heel counters support your ankle. Now the Thursday Captain has a fiberglass style heel counter and toe counter, which over time does tend to fall apart. It's a faster break-in, but over time in the long run, leather's gonna be a lot more supportive. It's gonna be hard to break in, but it'll last longer and you won't get any weird like divots and stuff in the toes as fast as if you did this one. Another difference is the shank. This is a steel shank. What it does is it goes underneath the sole and the midsole, inside the cork, and supports your foot from here to here. So you have a piece of steel going like right there, and it supports your foot. The Thursday Captains have a steel shank like this, not this thick, but like this. Heritage Captain has a leather shank with a secondary wedge, like a leather wedge. Now steel obviously is going to be a lot more supportive, but the idea with a leather shank is that it actually allows the footbed and everything on the inside to conform to your foot a lot better, and that wedge supports your foot. I personally prefer the steel shanks, but we'll see how these feel in the next few months with the leather shank. Now, in my opinion, one of the biggest upgrades they did was the footbed. The footbed is a piece that the whole shoe is built around that you're actually stepping on inside the boot. The Thursday Captain has a thin leather sock liner, which this is an example of a sock liner. This is a 3/4 sock liner. It's just a thin piece of leather that goes on top of the footbed. It hides all the nails and everything on the inside of the boot. The Captain has that full-length sock liner. It has a little bit of padding, and then it has a paper and fiberboard footbed, which over time does tend to fall apart. I've resold many Thursday boots with those footbeds where we had to replace it with leather because it's fallen apart. The Heritage Captain does still have that full-length leather insole or sock liner. It has a thin padding just in the back heel, and then it's got a nice thick piece of leather for the footbed. So you got padding in the heel and you got the leather in the front, which over time is gonna mold to your foot. It's gonna last longer. And as long as you condition the boots, inside and outside, everyone forgets to do the inside, because if you don't condition the inside of the boot, that leather footbed will curl up. I see it a lot with Red Wings, and you have to replace that. So when you're conditioning your boots, inside and outside. But it'll last a lot longer than the paper footbeds that the Thursday captains come with. Next is going to be the speed hooks. I love that they put speed hooks on there, but the only issue is that they look a lot like the Red Wing speed hooks, which if you haven't seen my video going over the Red Wing speed hooks, go look at that. It explains a lot better of why I have an issue with this. But the metal is kind of thin, and over time with stress and you tighten your boots up, it tends to bend. And because it's a thin metal, it bends and it breaks. These are my Thursday loggers, which I absolutely love, by the way. I put some custom Commando hassles on there, which is I did another video on. These are one of the most comfortable pairs of boots. I wish I did this when they were brand new. I may do this to this boot when I get to the recraft. But the speed hooks are called stud speed hooks. I know it's hard to tell in the video, but they're a lot smaller. They still work with the laces, but they're sturdy as can get, basically. And they don't bend, they don't break. So that is another, just a small issue, but again, I won't know till I start wearing them. They could be different from the Red Wing boots. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Also, if you want to see how I did this resole, I'll put the video down below too. This was a cool video. Here's my main concern with the Thursday Heritage Captain. It's the midsole. They did something a little bit different with the midsole. They put a thick leather midsole in there, which is great. Gives great stability, balance to the boots. They wanted it to be flexible, so they put slits along the midsole. So they took a leather piece and they cut slits so that it's nice and flexible. Two issues with that is, one, you lose the stability and the balance the leather midsole gives you. The second issue is squeaking. And squeaking is more of an annoyance than a actual structural problem. But what causes a squeak is loose pieces on the inside of the boot as you're walking, rubbing up against each other. So if they didn't glue the midsole together to the sole properly, then you're gonna have a lot of squeaks because you have tons of area that's potentially rubbing up against each other as you're walking. I had to resole a brand new pair of Timberland boots because of that same issue. They were a glue-on construction, which means the soles were just glued to the boots. We converted them to a Goodyear welted boot. I'll put the video down below. But what that did was allowed it to be stitched properly and actually held securely so there is no squeak. If you guys don't follow Pro Cobblers on Instagram, definitely go check them out. They're a really great cobbler company out of North Carolina, I believe. They just posted a video where they just had to resole a brand new pair of $850 Westco boots because of a loose piece of leather on the inside of the boot.
Under this shank, we have a piece of leather, and this little piece of leather right up here isn't glued down, and it's flapping and moving. So you see there's no glue between these two pieces. This little bit of loose leather will cause a terrible squeak.
But again, it's more of an annoyance thing. If it bothers you, if it doesn't bother you, just continue wearing the boot. They're not going to fall apart. I don't know if that's going to be an issue with these. I won't know till I wear them, which I'm going to wear them for about 3-4 months. We're going to do a second video where I take the whole boot apart and recraft and do something a little bit different, but give you my final thoughts in that video. My final thoughts on the boots. I absolutely love the way they look. I put them on, they feel great. Just those few concerns I have with the midsole and the speed hooks. But again, I'm gonna be wearing them for about 3 to 4 months starting now. So if you're not subscribed, stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you know when I post this video. And if you're not following me on Instagram or Facebook, I'm going to be posting updates on my stories about how these look after a week, 3 weeks, months, and all that stuff. So you can stay up to date with how these are turning out. That wraps up my thoughts on these boots. Again, I'm really excited. I'm very thankful that Thursday Boot Company sent these out to me to put to the test, to see what I think. Eventually, when it comes time to resoling them, recrafting them, getting a closer look at the inside of these boots, if they're gonna squeak, if these speed hooks are gonna bend, I don't know. I'm excited. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate it. God bless you guys.